Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders and elder bishops of Great Millstone and all that Akim has in their life daily, pushing this truth with sincerity. And peace to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, the folk on the whole world. And my name is Einan with GMS Detroit Podcast. And this video is on this article right here. Because it a little bit pissed me off a little bit when I seen it. Uh, 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 um, but it is what it is. They didn't sell Africans into slavery; they sell Israelites into slavery, and so-called the Hamites, the so-called Africans, the Ishmael, and all you other nations. Not only Esau, but all you nations have a hand in that. I got scriptures to prove that too. So let me get right to the article. This is UN votes to recognize enslavement of Africans. Well, they wasn't Africans; it was Israelites, as gravest crime against humanity and kind. And it was the gravest crime against humanity. Way more people, way more Israelites died during the transatlantic slave trade than all the people that supposed to be have died in during World War II. You know, you know. This is United Nations General Assembly has voted to recognize the enslavement of Africans during the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. Let that sink in. As the gravest crime against humanity, a move that advocates hope that will pave a way for healing and justice. Well, let's just keep reading. The resolution proposed by Ghana called for this destination while also urging UN member states to consider apologizing for the slave trade and contributing to a reparation fund. It does not mention a specific amount of money. The proposal was adopted with 123 votes in favor of and 3 against. United States, the Small Hatters, and Argentina. Why it don't surprise me that 2 of them that was against it are the Small Hatters and United States of America. 52 countries abstained, including the United Kingdom, the European Union member states. Countries like the UK have long rejected calls to pay reparations, saying today's institution cannot be held responsible for past wrongs. Well, when the Lord returns, you're going to pay for all that, and it's such as a thing. Everything that you did is going to be done back to you. You know, the Most High is about balance. You don't get away with doing something to somebody and nothing happens to you. That's righteous judgment. You know, y'all don't want to y'all benefited off of the captivity of the slaves, but don't want to return because reparations mean reparations are a measure to readdress historic and systemic injustices, particularly slavery and racial discrimination against Black Americans through financial compensation, apologies, and policy reforms. And and flat out, there's nothing that y'all can do. Only way that you could give us true reparations is y'all break all your governments down and set us on top and give us all your wealth. That's the only way we could do it. And then y'all work for us. You know, that's the only way it'll be true reparations. The way you could really truly repay us. You know, uh, 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 um, unlike UN Security Council resolution, those from General Assembly are not legally binding, though they carry weight of global opinion. Let it be recorded that when history beckoned, we did that which was right for memory of millions who suffered the indignity of the slave trade and those who continue to suffer racial discrimination. Ghana President John Mahama told the assembly ahead of the vote, adoption of the resolution served as a safeguard against forgetting. Also challenged the enduring scars of slavery, he said. Earlier, his foreign minister, Samuel Okaduzu, Okadizitu Ablakawa, told BBC Newsday program, "We are demanding compensation. Let us be clear. African leaders are not asking for money for themselves. We want justice for the victims and calls to be supported, education, endowment funds, skill training funds." The campaign for reparations has gained significant momentum in recent years. Reparatory justice was the African Union official meme for 2025. The Commonwealth leaders have jointly called for a dialogue on the matter. Blakwa also said that with the resolution, Ghana is not ranking for the pain above anyone else, but simply documenting a historical fact. Between 1500 and 1800, around 12 to 15 million people were captured in Africa and taken to the Americas, and where they were forced to work as slaves. It is estimated that over 2 million people died on the journey, and it was more than they lowballed the numbers. It was more than 12 to 15 million. It's more than 2 million died during the journey. Man, they had a thing called the edible slave, where they was eating the so-called slaves. The resolution backed by the African Union and the Caribbean community states that the consequences of slavery persist in the form of of racial inequities and underdevelopment affecting Africans and people of African descent in all parts of the world. Ablakwa told the BBC many generations continue to suffer the exclusion, the racism because of the translated slave trade, which has left millions separated from the continent and impoverished. Ahead of the vote, speaker after speaker expressed similar views. The UK, one of the major powers involved in the translated slave trade, said it recognized the untold harm and misery that has been caused to millions of people over many decades. Decades? How about centuries? You know, but it ambassador to the UN, James Kari Yukai told the assembly in the speech that the resolution was problematic in terms of its wording and international law. No single set of atrocities should be regarded as more or less significant than the other, he said. Fuck out of here. The U.S. ambassador to UM similar points out during his speech, saying his country does not recognize the legal right to reparations for historical wrongdoings that were not legal under international law at the time they occurred. In addition, Dan Nigera said the U.S. objected the cynical usage of historical wrongdoing as leverage to point out to reallocate modern resources to the people and nations who are distantly related to the historical victims. Ghana is one of the main gateways for the translated slave trade, has long been leading advocate for reparations. Forts are tens of thousands of enslaved Africans were once held under the inhumane conditions, remain standing along the West African coast, country's coast, as well as legal problems around reparations of U.S. ambassadors said resolution is unclear to whom the recipient of reparatory justice would be. Nigeria also responded to Mahama early criticism that Donald Trump's administration is normalizing the erasure of black history. You know, it's true, but but we don't need nothing from y'all. We gonna get everything that we want, everything that we require from you, when the Lord returns. You know, when the Lord returns, we're gonna get our righteous, righteous judgment's gonna be put out, and everything that you did to us is gonna be done to you. It's simple as that. We ain't gonna do things unrighteous, not wicked like the so-called white man did to us, or all you other nations did to us. But Israel was dispersed throughout all the nations. So, all you nations don't get a pass. Y'all point at the finger at UK and America. All you nations don't get a pass. Even the small hatters had the slave ships. None of y'all nations get a pass. None of you. Because it's an Israelite foreigner in every last one of y'all nations, and y'all mistreating them and misusing them. And when the Lord returns, hey, He's going to gather us from the four winds, from one end of the earth to the other. And the reapers are going to do that. The angels. So, enough of this right here. God damn it. Good thing I got him up here. This is Genesis. This is Genesis 9 and 6. Whoso sheddeth man blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Yahweh made he man. And all y'all shed innocent blood of the so-called Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Israelite foreigners scattered abroad the four corners of the whole world. And we've been dispersed throughout all the nations. Next scripture. Exodus 21:16. Because none of y'all nations get a pass. You're not getting a pass. He that stealeth a man and selleth him, and if he be found in his hands, he shall surely be put to death. And hey, we hey, it was Israelites y'all was selling to other nations, and y'all knew that. Y'all knew that. And you know how we know that y'all knew that? Even the so-called white man knew that. Where you at? Where you at? Did a good job of wiping most of this shit. But you know what? I has it. Here. Salakia. For taking so long because they won't give me the information that I want. Well, I got it in here. Bear with me for a second. I don't need you. I don't need you. Get tired of this shit. I don't need it. I don't need it. Here we go. Right here. To be soared. Aboard the ship Benny Island on Tuesday, the 6th of May, next Abley Ferry, a choice cargo of about 150 fine, healthy, fine Hebrews. Hey, they knew we was Hebrews, and just arrived from Windward Rice Craft. The utmost care already been taken, and shall be continued to keep them free from the leak, free from danger of being affected with the whatever. But hey, they knew they wasn't selling Negroes. You know, they knew it. You know, they knew it, and and they knew we weren't so-called uh, 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 Negroes. You know, they knew that. So matter of fact, they knew we weren't African. Uh, uh, um, man, Zond Ham. Yeah, one is. Well, it don't matter. It don't matter which one I get. It's all right here in the Zonovan Bible Dictionary. Uh, 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 um, this is Zonovan Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 65 years before 95 years before the flood, one of 8 persons to live through the flood, became the progenitors of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. Hey, we are not Hamites. You know, they sold Israelites into captivity. You know, and you got to pay for that. Everything you did to us, you're going to pay for it. You know, this is it's just not so-called white man. All of you nations are going to pay for this. Matter of fact, according to Bible prophecy, Revelations 13 and I think it's 13 and 10. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So, hey, y'all let us into captivity, you're going into captivity. Y'all going into slavery. Hey, just because y'all said it was legal back then, hey, y'all didn't get the blueprint y'all didn't get the understanding from the Most High. Hey, it wasn't legal in His eyes. You know, just because you said it was legal in your eyes, it wasn't legal in the Most High eye. You know, because y'all didn't read these scriptures when y'all was fine with putting us in captivity and slavery. So hey, when we get delivered, y'all going into change. You know, this is Isaiah 33, and woe unto thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they deal not treacherously with thee. And when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And this is what's about to happen. We about to, the kingdom, a transfer of kingdoms is about to happen real soon. And when Yahweh Shai and the angels return, you're going into captivity, slavery. You know, whether you like it or not, this is what's going to happen. You know, this is Jeremiah. 30 and 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that preyed upon thee will I give for a prey. And all this is going to happen when Most High restores Israel. You know, restore the children of Israel, the true children of Israel, and set them in their own land. When Yahushua returns, you know, in fact, Isaiah 14. All y'all going into captivity. You know, uh, 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 this is Isaiah 14 and 1. For Yahweh Bashim Yahushua will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and strangers shall be joined with them. Who are those strangers? Those strangers are Israelite foreigners scattered abroad the four corners of the whole world. Those are Israelites, these strangers right here in the scripture, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. And this part of the 1/3 of the house of Israel, dealing with starting with the 144,000 and the remnant, the 1/3 of the house of Israel. And the people shall take them and bring them in their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai for servants and handmaids. So we gonna possess you for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captive who captive they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it's going to be the end of our captivity, the beginning of your captivity. You know, we're going to be future rulers. And I don't know what this thing that you in thing thinking that y'all going to be good with us, but none of y'all going to be good with us. All of y'all had a hand with us going into captivity. You know, in fact, was it Joel? Matter of fact, and all you nations did this shit. This is Joel 3 and 3. They have cast lots for my people, have given a boy for a harlot, and so a girl for wine, that they might drink. And yea, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Philistine? And what have you to do for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? A Philistine are the Hamites. In fact, let's get into it. Uh, who is Tyre? Phoenicians, Mediterranean coast. Oh, the Assyrians. You know, y'all ain't catching a place in Palestine, the so-called Hamites. You know, you're not getting a pass. You know, you should have never helped them. You know, you knew we wasn't them, but still, y'all did that. You know, you and Ishmael. You know, uh, 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 um, you Zidon. No, still done with you, Hamite. Hey, you're not getting away with this. You're not getting a pass because you brought the bill up. It don't mean shit to us. It don't mean shit to the Most High. You know, because and if you will recompense me, will you render me a recompense? And a recompense is a payback. You know, recompense is a payback to provide compensation amends or a reward for harm suffered. You know, is you gonna recompense or repay or compensate? You know, are you gonna repay Yahweh Shem Yahushai? No, you can't. Such a repaying for damages, and hey, you have to repay or compensate us. Reparations go into repair. No, and if you recompense me speedily and quickly, I will turn your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and gold, and ye have carried into your temples my God, my goodly and pleasant things. Who are his silver and gold and his goodly and pleasant things? These are the Israelites. The scriptures say they are the Jews. The children, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem ye have sold unto the Grecians, that ye might move them far from their border. And that was the translated slave trade. Y'all removed us far from our border, from our home. You know, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and I return your recompense upon your own head. And here it goes. Here it goes. The captivity part. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians and to the people far off. And Yahweh hath spoken it. And this was going to happen real soon. Captivity, slavery is coming. You know, all of you nations have a hand in us going into captivity. Y'all could have did to any other nation, but y'all had to come after us. You know, Esau wasn't strong enough that he could do it to us on his own. He needs your help. For thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken. Art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? And you people talking about you don't think that you should have to pay reparations for things that was done in the past? Well, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai required what is past, and he don't care. You know, he requires payment, and you're going to pay. Art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. And hey, you're gonna drink of all the shit that y'all made us do. It's gonna come to you. You know, drink of this slavery. So I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste. And all the cities thereof is talking about America, And America, especially known as Basra, Nineveh, Babylon the Great, uh, uh, Sodom and Gomorrah, uh, 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 um, Egypt. Hey, all these places represent America, and this place right here is going to be laid to waste. You know, because so much innocent land was shedded on this land. Hey, this land right here will never, ever, ever be cleansed. And these things are happening right now. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, ambassador sent unto the heathen, saying that gather ye together, come up against her, rise up to the battle, and and all you nations are starting to. Well, Ben had that spirit of war. Y'all ain't scared of Esau no more. Then all y'all nations got the bomb, a thermonuclear warhead. Esau is not the man with the big stick anymore, because all y'all got the same damn stick. No. For Lord, I will make these small among the heathen, despised among men. And hey, don't nobody look at America like they used to. You know, these Edomites that run in this place, don't nobody fear y'all motherfuckers anymore. Y'all in war with Iran, and Iran is laughing at you. They want you to hurry up and put boots on the ground over there. Thy terribles have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart. O thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, that holdest the height of the hill. And don't they call themselves uh, 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 Caucasians? Caucasians mean cave dwellers, and they used to live in the Caucasus Mountains when they was chased up in there, but they really from Mount Seir, Petra. That's where they from. And though thou makest thy nest high as an eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's the International Space Station and these satellites. You know? Also, Edom shall be a desolation, and everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. Because all the killing of the innocent you did here, hey, this place is going to be done away with. No, this place is going to be destroyed utterly. Only the hopeful elect, 1/3, and the one and 144,000 members of the hopeful elect are leaving this place. You know, back to charges against Esau. This is Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and thou hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of a sword, and at the time of their calamity, in the end of their iniquity had an end. Hey, Esau's been fucking with us from the moment we left Egypt, and still been fucking with us all the way up until the great and dreadful day of Yahweh Shemal Shai. Hey, But that's gonna be the last day him and all you nations be able to fuck with us. Because hey, coming soon, hey, our big brother Yahushua is coming. You know? Our everlasting father Yahushua. You know? Hey, because hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua made Yahushua first, and Yahushua created everything else. And thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And that's talking about America. This place is going to get destroyed. You know? And I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut it off from it him that passeth and him that returneth, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and his hills, and thy valleys, and in all thy rivers, and shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And hey, the scriptures say the slain of Yahweh Shemi Shai shall be many. And it's just not you, Esau. All you nations are going right along with them. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas Yahweh Bashim Shai was there. Therefore, as I live, say Yahweh Shem Shai, I will do according to my anger, according to thy envy, which thou hast used against thy hatred, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I judge thee. And this was wonderful. When we get finally judged, when we get our enemies judged, hey, the kingdom is going to be set up for us. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against me, the mountains of Israel, saying, they are desolate, and they are given us to consume. And not only you, but all you other nations had a hand in it too. You know, all of you nations don't get a pass. You're not getting a pass. You're not getting away with it. This oh, I keep forgetting. I think it's 4 and 19. Mm-mm-mm. Here we go. I know it was not that far from it. This is Lamentations 2:15. And all that passed by clapped their hands at thee, and they hissed and wagged their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? And these are all the heathen nations, right along with Esau, mocking us. And all thy enemies has opened up their mouth against thee. They hissed and gnashed their teeth and said, We have swallowed her up. How you swallowed us up? Putting us in captivity, making us serve you. You know? Certainly, this is a day that we look for, and we have found, and we have seen it. Hey, everything you did to us is coming back to you. And prove you that when Yahweh shall return, it's coming right back to you. You know, everything you did to us. You know, this is Second Thessalonians. When Yahweh shall get here, it's a wrap for you. You know, seeing it's a righteous thing. This Second Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it's a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that troubled you. All you nations troubled us. And to you who are troubled, rest with us. When Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai, the power of Yahweh Shai, shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that knew not Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, and that obeyed not the gospel of our power, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who shall be perished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the presence of the Almighty power. Hey, it's coming. Right around the corner. You know, their judgment. This is Colossians 3:25. This is Colossians 3:25. But he doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done. And there is no respect of persons. So it don't matter what you did. You should have never touched us. You should have just let us go on about doing what we was doing. But no, you had to fuck with us. So, hey, everything you did to us, we're going to do the same thing to you, whether you like it or not. You know? So, that's it on this one. I pray this video is edifying to the hopeful that all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.